guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jodi and today I'm going to be going over my big three. Actually, I've changed that. I'm going to be going over my big four. So if you're not familiar with the big three items, it usually consists of your sleeping system, your tent, and your backpack. And I've added one more important thing on this list, so it's going to be the big four. So I've very carefully selected what I think will work the best for me. So in saying that, just because it's going to work for me, it might not work for you. Everybody's different, everybody's bodies are different, and everybody's hike is different. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to select your backpacking gear. So let's start off with my home for 6 months on the Appalachian Trail. I have chosen the Durston X-Mid Pro 2. I've chosen it because it's made out of Dyneema. So that makes it very light. And when it's raining, I could just shake it off. It doesn't absorb the rainwater. And we all know on the Appalachian Trail, there is lots of rain. So when I speak of weight, it comes in at 25 ounces. So this is a trekking pole tent, so that's another reason that it's lighter. It doesn't require regular tent poles. I just use my trekking poles. So it has 2 large vestibules to put your gear in. I prefer to keep my gear in my tent. That is why I have chosen the 2-person. And since I'm living in this for 6 months, I want to have room. I don't want to feel like I am claustrophobic. I'm a little worried about the condensation, but you get that with your double wall tents as well. So where this is a single wall, it's just something I'm gonna have to deal with. I'll just have to be a little more pickier with my tent spots when possible. I'm still getting used to the pitch on this because it's a little offset. So I might have some wonky pitches for the first little bit, but I'm gonna try my best. I've tried it a few times now and I've been successful a couple of times, and then a couple of times they were not the best, but practice makes perfect. So along with this tent, I'll also be carrying some tent pegs. Let's see what I got here. So I've got 2 large MSR groundhog tent stakes, and then I also have 4 of these smaller groundhog tent stakes, and I have 1 of just these. I'm not sure what these ones are called, but it's just a straightforward. Sometimes I like to use them in the harder ground. And then once we get closer to New Hampshire and we get into the whites, I'm gonna have a couple of these sent to me. I've got a bag of them, but this is what they look like. And they are a little different. They're for tent pads. So in the whites, when you set up your tent, most of the time you're going to be on a tent pad, a wooden one. So what happens is the string will be tied into this, and then this will slide in between the slats of the wood, and that's how I'll hold my tent down. So my tent pegs come in at 4.5 ounces. Okay, so next up is my backpack. And so I have chosen the Hyperlite Southwest 55. So the reason I've chosen this is a waterproof bag. One of the reasons I chose it. It also is a roll top, so just open it up at the top. And that's the main part of the backpack. It's just a great big roll top. Everything goes straight down in. I wanted it simple. And I just roll that top down. And then also if I have something on the top that if I wanted to put my tent on the top, or I don't know, even carry a bag of chips or a beer canister, then it has this clip here. I think it's called the yoke. And I can just put it in under that. But if not, I just tighten that up, and that keeps the top of it down. It has a nice big front pocket to stash. I'll probably put like my toiletries and my rain gear and stuff like that in it, things that I want to get at quick on the trail. And then it has the regular side pockets on both sides. And then we've got the, I guess, the front of the pack. It's the back of the pack, but it's the front of the pack. This is, so this is my shoulder straps here. It has the chest strap with the whistle, like the Osprey packs usually do. And then I have 2 pockets, and this is large enough to fit my phone. I won't be carrying my phone in here, but it is large enough in case someone's looking for a backpack to fit their phone in there. I know that most pockets, the side pockets on a backpack, are pretty small, but I'm going to be carrying, or I'm going to be wearing a fanny pack in the front, and it's a large fanny pack, so I'm just going to throw my phone in there. It's just easier to get it in and out, and I probably won't zip it up all the time. So that is my backpack, the Hyperlite Southwest 55. It might be a little larger than I need, but in the winter I think I'm going to need that with all my extra warm gear. And I do have a thermometer on here that I flung on there. That will come in handy. I think the name is Thermodrop that I got it from. I like it because I'll be able to look back to see what the temperature was during the night. So that's the backpack. So the next thing is my sleeping pad. So my sleeping pad when I start out is going to be Neo Air X-Therm. So the Neo Air X-Therm pad, it's more of a winter pad, but I'm going to use it for the first few months that I'm starting out. And it has an R value of 6.9, which is really warm. And I got a regular wide in this, so it's the regular length, but I got an extra 5 inches on it because I find that the 20-inch pads are not that wide to sleep on. You're sleeping like this, and I don't know, I just don't get a good sleep that way. So the extra 5 inches allows me to put my arms down to my side, and I think that should work much better. And this weighs, let's see, 19.95 ounces. So then when the warmer seasons hit, I'm going to carry the Thermarest, just the Neo Air X-Lite. And it's only, the R value is only 4.2. I say only, that's like a 3-season pad. I've slept with this in the winter, but with another, just a fold up pad underneath. So like I said, when it starts to warm up and I don't need that extra warmth, I'm gonna have this sent to me in a resupply box. And its weight comes in at 13.35 ounces. So it's a little bit lighter. I'm almost thinking that depending on how much I like the 25-inch pad, the warmer one, with the extra 5 inches, that I might not get this sent to me. I might try to grab one on the trail that's this exact same, just the 5, like the extra 5 inches on there. Because really I need to have some good sleep while I'm out there. So next up, to go with my sleep system, is the Nemo Philo Elite Pillow. Yes, that's my pillow. So this pillow is, a lot of them are, you can get blow up pillows, and then there's the big fluffy ones that you don't blow up and they're just fluffy. But this one is actually both. So it folds into itself. It's really small, as you see. There. It's been folded up for a while, but it has some stuffing in here to make it nice and cozy. And the material that you're going to put your head on is really soft as well. A lot of those other ones, they just feel like plastic. They're not that cozy. So this has a valve on this side where I would blow up this side. So it makes it a blow up pillow, but with a nice cozy top to it. And that comes in at just under 3 ounces. So it's 2.95 ounces. Also with my sleep system is this little guy, the Sea to Summit Thermalite Reactor Extreme. And I wonder, how much does he weigh? So he weighs 13.7 ounces. This guy here keeps me warm on those extra cold nights. And it's just a sleeping bag liner. And it has the hood if you want it. It's nice and big and baggy, so I don't feel like I get trapped in it or anything like that. And I just slide into this and then slide into my sleeping bag. It keeps my sleeping bag clean, especially on those days that I'm going to be dirty and not have a chance to, well, there's gonna be lots of those days I'm gonna be dirty and not have a chance to shower. So anyways, so this will be a sleeping bag saver because the sleeping bags are not cheap. So this guy wasn't cheap either, but the sleeping bags are a lot more expensive. So it says online that this is supposed to add an extra 25 degrees Fahrenheit to your sleep system. I beg to argue that. I know it does help keep me warm. I don't think I've ever gone without. I even have a big fleece one that I take this one over the fleece one, and this is just a thin, I don't know if the tag says what it's called or what it's made out of. And the website says it's their warmest knitted sleeping bag liner. So I don't know. I take this over my big fleece one that I have. That's going with me as well. And then we have this is like one piece of my gear that I'm super excited about. And I don't know if it's because of the color or if it's because of the company or if I think it's all of it actually. But my sleeping bag is actually a quilt. So I don't know if you know what a quilt is in backpacking. So it's basically a sleeping bag, but it doesn't have the back in it. Because when you lay in a sleeping bag, they claim when you lay in a sleeping bag that you compress all of the material under you and it doesn't help keep you warm whatsoever. So the sleeping pad is what's supposed to really keep you warm. So that's why it's good to have a good R value with those. So there's not much sense in carrying the extra weight of the back of a sleeping bag if it's no good to you. So they've created these quilts and they have straps that will go around your sleeping pads to help hold it in place. It's also good so when it gets in the warmer weather, I can just flop a leg out or use it basically like as a pillow. I can use it basically as a blanket. I can just take it off and put it back on instead of shimmying down in and zipping it up and all that. So the only thing with a quilt is that, or most quilts and my quilt, it doesn't have the hood on it like a sleeping bag would have, which is not going to make much difference to me because I'm going to be carrying a toque or a hat of some sort anyways, just because of the colder weather at the beginning. So I'm just going to sleep with that. I also will have my down puffy jacket. So on a cold night, I'll just have that up over me. So, but anyways, my bag is from Enlightened Equipment. And the color I chose was purple, which I love. And then I got the bright pink inside. This is a 20-degree Enigma quilt. So the bottom of it is sewn, it's closed like a regular sleeping bag. They have some that don't. So they just have a toggle that they pull and it tightens up. But then there's a little tiny hole that gets left most of the time, and I'm scared to death that my feet were gonna get cold. So I ended up with the closed box. And then it stays closed up to about here. Oh, I don't know if I can get this. And then it's where this opens. So this is the back of the sleeping bag, or the quilt. This is the back of the quilt. And then these are the straps. So the sleeping pad will go in here. These will go around the sleeping pad. And there's two of them. This one. So there's one down further. And then there's a couple of snaps. This one snaps right up around your neck. And then I also paid extra to have this baffle all around the edge to keep the drafts out. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to use this. And then the weight of this bag, I can't fit it on the scale, but I looked it up. Also, when I bought this, or when I ordered it, I ordered the 850 down, and I also ordered the wide one. I just wanted some room because I toss, I sleep on my side, I sleep on my back, I sleep on my stomach, so I didn't want to be confined too much. I also got the 10D fabric on the outside and the inside. So that's my sleep system. And the last thing that I said that I had the big 4 is my shoes. I consider them pretty important, so I've included them in this one. So we have my favorite shoe at this moment is the Solomon, and they are the Sense Rides. These ones are the 4s. And I've been using these for the last couple of years. They have a good tread on them. They're Ortholite. It says comfort foam insoles. I've had, I think this is probably my 3rd pair now. And well, this will be my 4th one. So I've only bought 2 pairs of these for the Appalachian Trail. I know that I'll probably need 5 pairs, but I've read so much about people's feet changing throughout the trail, and where they flatten out, they don't grow bigger, but where your foot flattens out, it makes your feet spread out more, and then you need a bigger shoe. So I figure I should be able to still stay in these shoes for the first half of the trail, and then after that I'll have to get them probably from a supplier, like in one of the towns that I stop in at. But I just didn't want to spend money on a shoe that wasn't going to fit me anymore, so I only purchased 2. And there is a new version out, so I got these ones super cheap. These are not Gore-Tex. I shouldn't say that I don't like Gore-Tex. I do have 1 pair of them for the colder weather, and they do keep my feet dry. But if I am in as much rain as they usually have on the Appalachian Trail and my feet get wet, my shoes get wet, they're gonna have a harder time drying. So we're sticking with these ones here. I should be able to pull them apart, get them dried out quick enough. And so that's my choice. So these are the Sense Ride 4 Solomon Sensei Fits. So that's it. That's everything that I have for the Appalachian Trail for my big 4. So we have the Durston X-Mid Pro 2, and we have the Hyperlight Southwest 55, and then my carefully selected sleep system along with my shoes. So I just want to remind you that selecting your gear is crucial. It's like the most important thing during any of your hikes. So take your time and do your research, because it will make a big difference. So if you found this video helpful, it'd be nice if you'd like the video and subscribe and share it with your fellow hikers. So until next time, happy trails and happy hiking.